Oh
So
man,
it's just like,
I feel like that takes longer and longer each language you learn, right?
it
Yeah,
really does. It
right.
really, really does. But I'm also such a nerd. Like if I don't know the word, like I won't be able to go to sleep if I'm like, oh shoot, I don't remember how to say this word. I will not be able to sleep unless I go and look it up. I'm like, yeah.
Right. Do you, just out of curiosity, do you have like when you're learning a new language, like do you have like certain like vocabulary words you always seek out first, or you just kind of start with A and go all the way through?
Um, I'm not sure I'm not sure I really can answer that
Mm,
because most of the languages that I've learned, like Russian was from home, so it's just like
right.
the day to day speaking and listening to other people have conversations. Um, and then English was I was taught in school. Spanish I studied in school. So whatever the format for high school English is, middle school, high school English, I'm not really sure. But I'm sure it's like the basic, like, house, clothes, numbers, weather, all of those main like coffee talk subjects.
Yep.
And same for Hebrew. For Hebrew, it was, it was more so learning the table of like how to construct a sentence, and then you can learn every word. Like once you know how to construct a sentence, you learn every word. Um, Again, I forgot your question. Oh no.
Okay. Well, I think you answered it anyway. Another curiosity question. Just I don't know, we're just
Yeah.
talking about stuff I'm curious about today, I guess. But in like Chinese has always been like a really really interesting language because I mean I studied a little bit of Spanish and stuff. English is kind of a combination of the Romance languages and some German and things in there. But like the Asian languages are vastly different from what Westerners are used to. Like how has that been learning that particular language? Do you have any favorite vocabulary words for any particular reason?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely been a challenge.
Mm,
Um, the sentence structure of Chinese is definitely because it's all about, it's just opposite. And I'm not even sure if it's opposite, but it's, yeah, just a different sentence structure. So
okay,
um, that's definitely been challenging. But it's like once you get the hang of it, it's not, I can't say
it's
it's
not
not
too
as
bad.
hard. It's still really hard for me.
Okay.
It is really hard for me. And there are so many words. Um, but some words have become easier to remember because they're the same in Russian and Hebrew. So like
Okay.
there are some words that are exactly the same, which is really cool.
And then it's, correct me if I'm wrong here, but to my like a very limited understanding, it's like the pronunciation of words is like the tone or like the cadence is also really important in Chinese. Is that true?
Yeah. So from what I know, and again, I'm not studying it in any like school or anything. This is just self-learning.
Yeah.
So again, anything I say, take it with a grain of salt. But I think they have five different tones. So
Okay.
each word also has like vowels that they use with it.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone has like three variations, and yeah, it's
Okay. I guess
yeah.
we're just letting my curiosity kind of run away with me here a
Yeah,
little
and
bit.
then like within China, I think they have like 27 different dialects, like something like that. They have like a crazy number of different dialects. So I just made that number up because it's not, I think something like that. They have a ton, like a ton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna learn
So
all of them or just gonna focus on the one?
no, no, I will like never. No,
Be doing that
probably
forever.
not.
Okay, well to rein to rein myself back in here a little bit.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to ask you because I know you've been in a lot of different sales roles, and you've led I mean a lot of like sales teams across industries. So has there been like any like really big common denominator in successful leadership, regardless of the field or industry you've been in?
Yeah, I think I think the common denominator for me,
Mm,
at least, I can't really speak, can't speak for anybody else, but for me,
all right.
I really just like to make sure that I'm able to speak to everybody in the organization,
Mm,
right? Because sales has so many of their own goals and targets
yep.
that are not only challenging, but they're dependent on so many other parts of
Yeah.
the company and so many different teams and so many different responsibilities. So I think that being able to being able to help every other team understand where we come from, and then the importance of their work in helping us achieve our goals, right? Because at times it can become, you can bicker. We always want things really fast, and
Yeah.
we have a lot of demands, and we're like running and we're talking to people. So we're like the liaison between the outside world, the product, whoever else, if you're backed by VC, if you're a private company, right? There's so many different factors of who's making decisions and who's setting goals for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're really hard goals and it's stressful. So how are you able to take all of that stress, right? Take that
Mm-hmm.
stress, take client feedback, take it to your, do what you need to do in sales, and then communicate that to the rest of the team so they understand, one, they can digest your crazy a little bit better.
Right. Yep.
But then they also understand, how important they are
Yeah.
to
Which
everybody's success, because it's not only sales, it's the entire company. So,
100%.
yeah, that's
Well,
definitely been the most important thing, in my opinion.
yeah, well, so I totally agree with you, and I think like that appreciation piece that you mentioned, I think is something that can be really easy to overlook as a salesperson or as a sales leader, because like we're all driving towards our goal, our quota, whatever it is that we're pushing towards. And I mean, taking, 5 minutes to pop down to, John's office and marketing or whatever to tell him, hey man, thanks so much for getting, the leave behind or whatever to me so quickly. That definitely made all the difference in the last deal. I think that goes a really long way. And like I said, I think it's so easy to forget to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You're spot on.
Yeah.
Everybody is like, we all, sometimes we don't all work in the same office, and sometimes we're on different floors, or sometimes we're in the same office, but just,
Hmm.
remembering that everybody has, goals that are set for them, but then you have to have like a communal goal or
Yes.
a
And
communal
ultimately
respect
that's what
for,
you're all doing.
we're all
Hmm.
in it for the same success, and my success is your success, and your success is my success.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, 100%. I mean, again, it's so easy to lose sight of exactly that, where we're all ultimately on the same team. And,
Yeah.
my personal favorite, way to show appreciation when I was working in the field, I would try to go out of my way. Like if I was having a conversation with either like a potential client or like somebody internally, if we were like chatting, if somebody mentioned that, oh, my birthday is coming up on, such and such date, I would try to go out of my way to figure out what, ice cream or a little treat that they, just loved. And
No.
then I would go out and get that. I could get them like a little, just a little small portion of it and give that to them. And I mean, it's a small expense, and, going out of my way to it's a little bit goes a long way to really show how much I appreciated somebody's effort.
Oh, well, that's really sweet of you. But I think the same exact way. I think it really is, does, it's free to
Yeah.
put in a little bit more thought. We're all people at the end of the day, and everyone appreciates being appreciated.
Hmm.
And everyone likes little surprises. So good on you. I'm the same way. And not everyone is like, not everyone is like that, and that's fine too. But I am definitely on that same wavelength.